Warrior, I think we do have to come together and we do have to discuss what recently occurred on some level. I'll leave it at that. July 13th. A lot of talk, very tumultuous, shocking, shocking. And I think you know what I mean. But the thing I'm not hearing about the attempt on President Trump's life, and I don't care if you like him, hate him, want to vote for him, not voting for him, just listen to me and what I have to say. Many children and teens were actually watching in real time that rally in Pennsylvania because I had a lot of parents and some grandparents reach out to me. And in all of this discussion, I'm recording this on Monday, July 15th. The one thing I haven't heard anything about, now I've been a busy warrior, maybe it skipped by me, but I haven't heard anything about the children. How do we talk to the kids? Because I can go as far back as Robert Kennedy, because I remember his. I don't know with YouTube. I'll just say I remember his death, and I'm trying to keep this very simple because I remember watching the funeral of all the children. They were dressed in white in the church, and I remember being a little kid and thinking, oh, this is so sad, their father. I can't remember back to John Kennedy. I was alive, but I was 2 years old. But my brother was telling me just yesterday he remembers watching with our mother, and I was in a little playpen thing or something, and he had some blocks and was playing with blocks while our parents were watching. So it got me thinking when he said this to me that what about the kids? I think it is something that we have to discuss with them on some level, age appropriate. Again, I always tell you we must be open and honest because we have this youth mental health crisis and it's not getting better. It is escalating. So we have to grab each moment. And this, I believe this was a big moment. Now, even if you are disgusted with Donald Trump, you don't care about Donald Trump, you this, that, and the other thing, kids are still reading things. Kids are still hearing things. Kids are still seeing the rhetoric. Kids are still taking it all in. So I really think it is our duty to put everything aside. Stay in your lane, in your own home and community. Talk to the kids age appropriate. Tell them they're safe. Give them an extra hug. Talk to the teens. This is an unfortunate incident. But just how crazy. I'm not going to get into it because I really do try to stay away from politics. It just does not serve us well. Our mission on the war, with the warriors. But how can you not get somewhat political with all of this going on? And you have to just explain to them, this child was disturbed, we don't have any details, and stay with the positive. But you're safe, this is terrible, violence is never the answer. Simple answers, don't over-explain, don't quote people, don't go into things. I'm just very concerned because right away I was seeing images online, I was seeing talk that I thought was so horrible because we at the Warriors don't wish harm on anyone. Anyone. And I just want everybody to be aware of that. Saturday was a very important day with the Warriors. It was the 4th annual March. Lost Voices. The Dead Still Speak. Fentanyl. The rally in Washington, D.C. with the thousands of families that fly in, drive in, take trains, buses to get there in honor of their dead child or dead family member, to come together as a community and grieve and gain support from each other and then march over to the White House to hold up those pictures of the loved ones. So that we had going on. Then we had this incident, July 13th, which I think we'll all remember that date as we remember many other dates, such as 9/11, such as just things stick in our minds. Talk to the kids. There is some good news, though, because I also want to bring some good news to this. I on purpose yesterday was researching and writing for preparation for tomorrow. I have many things happening, and I just wanted to stay away from what happened and absorb it. It's rather shocking. And think about, if it's shocking for me, what about the kids, right? What about the teens? So I'm begging you, I'm urging you to get a hold of them if you haven't done so already and talk to them. Again, not too much information. They're safe. They're okay. You know what to do. I'm going to put some things in the couple of tips in the body of the video, but also the importance of fentanyl. We must keep brainwashing our kids. You do not buy drugs online. You cannot take even an aspirin from a friend of yours because that friend may have gotten it off of online and it's cut with fentanyl. We have too many cases of children taking an aspirin or thinking they're taking a Percocet, and not that they should be, and then it's cut with fentanyl and they die. Fentanyl, it is an American crisis. It is the poisoning of America. Fentanyl is not a drug. It is an illicit drug the way it's being cut today. Yes, it is used hospital grade appropriately, but we're talking about illicit fentanyl, cheap chemicals cut into, different studies say 85 to 90% of all drugs, being any opioids, being marijuana, being cocaine. We have to tell the kids nothing is safe because you can just order up drugs online and have them delivered to your back door. It's that simple. Leave them at the mailbox down in the corner underneath. We've seen that. Fentanyl, fentanyl, fentanyl. You're to do that with your child. Talk to them. Nothing, 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 right? We used to have don't take candy from strangers. Now, and that was for little kids. Now we have to talk to middle school kids and definitely teens. They have to understand, because if you were in Washington to see the thousands upon thousands, and let me say to you, barely any media coverage of this most important event. Why? Why? Because it goes back to the open borders where it is flowing freely, these illicit drugs over these borders. And of course, with everything going on, no attention on the border. So we have to do it ourselves. So that's your homework for today. But in the meantime, there was some good news at the end of last week. A bipartisan piece of legislation from Senator Amy Klobuchar, Minnesota, and also Senator John Cornyn from Texas, Republican, came together. It's called the SHIELD Act. And it's about image-based, non-consensual images online. And the SHIELD Act will, and I'll list it out in the body of the video so you can read it, absorb it, will allow that person whose image was shared non-consensually to go after that other person. So it's a little bit of a protection, right? We'll take anything that's good news. So our hats off to Senators Amy Klobuchar and John Cornyn for getting this into the 118th, Congress, because it's been so hard with everything, right? Hard. So again, you have to remember, we have to do the work. So while the warriors were in Washington, we're in Albany, our state capital, wherever we land across our great country, working on legislation, we need you to be in your home and community working on these issues. Today it is talking to the kids about July 13th, talking to the kids about fentanyl. Make a list. We have to keep up on these subject matters that nobody else is talking about. Remember, our hashtag is Community Creates Change. Thank you. Thank you for all the subscribers. We need you on our YouTube channel to subscribe. We need to build numbers. We need to build up awareness and community. And by you subscribing, not just watching the videos, subscribing, it helps us tremendously with the algorithms. Thank you for the donations that are pouring in. Thank you for the offers to volunteer. We are putting together something in the Bronx. If anybody's in the New York area, as soon as we have that organized in the next week, I'll let you know. We'd certainly like your help. And remember, each and every day is precious. And remember also, each and every day, go out and be a warrior.